EO proudly presents.
It's been an incredible experience. I didn't expect to come back with thoughts that I'm having right now, and for me it's been a huge tipping point.
September 2011. Entrepreneurs from all over the world gather in the historic capital of the Netherlands to witness the birth of the virus of entrepreneurial change.
The world is changing. We all know this. New realities are developing. There's a new truth, other standards, values. This change goes fast. Very fast. We all realize we have to be more careful with the resources and commodities Mother Nature gives us. Though we have to focus on the right issues with all our knowledge, expertise, and talents. Society expects corporations not only to act in a reliable but also in a responsible way. We all have to take more account of the society we are part of, not just for ourselves but also for the future generations. Society expects them to redesign tomorrow. This change in attitude is not something to be feared. As a matter of fact, it will prove to be a blessing because of the many opportunities, especially for you, being an entrepreneur. What is more exciting than being an adventurer and exploring new horizons? What is more challenging than thinking out of the box and creating new ideas for the very first time? What is more energizing for entrepreneurs, more inspiring than developing new realities?
We shape ourselves to fit this world, and by the world we are shaped again.
Let me introduce Kevin Langley, our chairman.
The world is changing, and EO changed my life. My challenge to you is to share your experience and your stories. We can transform this world if we work together. Roll the video, please.
We're devastated.
We haven't eaten in 3 days.
What turns Katrina into one of the deadliest hurricanes of modern times?
My entire community that I knew was underwater. There were two paths, a path of fear and a path of hope.
Do not forget why you are attending these conferences, who you're doing this for.
My name is Cullis-Suzuki, and I was that 12-year-old speaking at Rio.
How do you do it? You see, trust brings trust. Unless you start with the trust, you can't get to the trust. But all our system is based on distrust. Look at banking itself. Credit means trust.
Don't you guys remember? Our house is on fire, and we absolutely have to act, and we have to act now.
Believe me, today's crisis won't be solved by governments, NGOs, or corporates. It's us, the entrepreneurs, who will change the world for us and our children.
And as a university committee, we have a dream. We have something like the VOC share, and it's called the Amsterdam Manifesto.
And that's what we hope to do, to start a very contagious virus of entrepreneurial change. Because we, being entrepreneurs, we can make a change.
And then it's time for the entrepreneurs to reflect on the first day of working towards a better understanding on how to change the world.
Was literally the best experience I think I've ever had.
I think the highlight is the theme. Change the world and sustainability, I think that's the future. So they picked the right theme.
I'm always amazed that they can do something new and different, and this was a great example of it.
Without change and involvement, nothing, we won't go anywhere.
I think it's wonderful. I loved him saying it's more important to be more instead of having more, so it's great.
Fantastic speakers, and I'm leaving tonight inspired.
Especially the talk from Yunus was amazing. It blew my mind, really, and I enjoyed the day very much so far, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Day 2 is all about entrepreneurship for the future, what to change and how to do it.
It's possible. The realm of possibility exists where? In each of you. Here. So you can do it.
First question from the audience: what do we teach our children?
Once you have the right moral values and you have the character and you can, at the right moments, listen to your own inner beat, you're going to do okay. Otherwise, you're going to be buffeted by forces around, and we get so much of it from television, from newspapers, from everywhere. And that is within the child and the individual who can travel with it and go anywhere.
What I believe, frankly, is, along with the theme of this conference, that change is no longer an option, it's a necessity. So we do not have the luxury of pretending that the world cannot change. We have to change the world.
And to achieve that, you need courage.
But it feels wonderful to be an entrepreneur. Is it risky? Yes, it is risky. But we have a lot of investors already who fully believe in what we are doing.
Are you ready to skydive? What? He's having a laugh. Like it makes a difference. Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go! What is the difference that makes the difference between successful entrepreneurs and not? Why are we doing what we're doing? Why did you start your business? Why are you running your business right now?
And then there are solutions on how to change the world.
The method we're going to use to correct vision is we're going to supply people with eyeglasses, and they're going to adjust the lenses until they can see clearly. I look through it and I find I can correct my own vision. It's something I can make for pennies.
What we're all about is we're trying to eradicate fossil fuel use in everyday transport. That's what we stand for. Holland is pretty much leading the pack when it comes to adoption of electric cars. Hope these actions will, well, change the world for the better.
Be true to yourself. Yeah. Be true to yourself. Feel the heartbeat and be true to yourself and make a difference in this world. This book says, examine what is said, not him who speaks. Exactly. Yeah. He spoke from his heart. Thank you very much, Mr. Anand. Thank you for that.
A day about personal inspiration and solutions, like making it affordable for everyone to look at the future with clear vision. And having said that, it's time for the mind to relax and let the body language speak.
Oh, it's just a piece of my head. Oh, it's just a piece of my head.
What I'm going to do today, well, I've already done it.
Kofi Annan, by far, right? I mean, the experience that he has is unparalleled in making people that are difficult, that think they're at the top of the world, to sit down together and actually make peace.
Well, especially the Change Cafe today, that was really, really good because it talked about the future of the next generation. And I've got a 10-year-old son, and I went like, oh, it's not just about business. I'm doing this for him.
As an entrepreneur, I can certainly say that the future is going to throw a lot of curves at everybody. That's my prediction for the next 10 years.
But I think we have a duty to society to make this place a better place than we first started with.
I mean, it's already, anything that you do today has an impact on tomorrow. So for sure, we've all got a different mindset. We'll carry that back to our countries, to our companies, to our families, to our neighbours. So yeah, absolutely.
Looks like a great time. One of the best times of life, a life-changing experience. Change the world.
Oh, it's just a piece in my head. Oh, it's just a piece in my head. Oh, it's just a piece in my head. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's just a piece in my head.
That's nice. But it's just a start, of course.
When we share information, we're not actually just sharing information. We're trying to share emotions. We're very hardwired as humans to want to share emotional experiences. It's what we're all doing here. When you get up and dance, you're sharing, you're making a connection with people. You're bonding with them on that emotional level.
How do you go about making these changes? What are the things that really stop you? And where are the opportunities of making change that is not only cosmetic?
Life is wonderful. We have to care about it.
How many people who in this audience thinks you have the secret to long-term sustainable happiness? Why, as humans, are we, for the most part, unable to find happiness? Can happiness really be a business model? Can it actually work?
People and companies tend to underperform to their capabilities because we rush to the urgent at the expense of the important. I don't want my people to just come in and give me their mind and their body. I want to win over their hearts.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measures.
Having heard this, it's time to become practical in a few workshops to get more insight in the potential to change the world, but also to share some Dutch history and gezelligheid in the company of some fellow entrepreneurs.
Oh, it's just a piece in my head.
So this was the old part of town, and back there were the marshlands, and there was a lot of agriculture outside.
Oh, it's just a piece in my head. Oh, yeah.
It's the last stop before we're at Ale's house, where we're going to be your host for the night.
Well, we're off to someone's house to do a dine around, and it's all a bit of a surprise, I think.
Oh, it's just a piece in my head.
Well, what I learned today mostly is that normally we are able to think outside the box, or we want to think outside the box. But yeah, the most memorable moment for me is that you have to think without the box, right? So that you come up with new solutions without every time trying to go in the same analysis.
I think there's a lot to take in and a lot to think about, but it's really, I'm sure it's going to have a big impression, and you know, I'll definitely go home and make some changes.
Just being simple. Just keep it simple.
The last day of the event, it's time for the entrepreneurs to sign the manifesto. all shared thoughts on how to change the world are being connected here in the capital of the Netherlands. But not before one last wake-up call.
Where every 6 seconds a child dies from hunger. Another child has just died from hunger. Another one has just died from hunger. A child died from hunger. And there's enough food in the world to feed all children. Greed is still out there. And that's quite terrible, because if we look at the world, then in my mind, we need to think of it in terms of integrated crises. There are 4 of them. Economy gets all the attention in our part of the wood. There's absolutely nothing more powerful in the world than when a business person and his company decides to want to change the world.
Good morning to you. I will not simply react.
Okay, guys, I've got here your manifesto, and it's just in writing, but we're going to sign it, and we're going to publish it, and then we can't avoid acting by it as well. I would love to invite some of our speakers of the last couple of days to help us and tell us what their insights are hearing this manifesto of ours that's been produced during the workshops, during the Change Cafes in the last couple of days. It's your manifesto. Peter Bakker, can you join me as well? Take one. Seven Suzuki, where are you? And our global chairman, Kevin Langley. Peter.
Real simple, do it. That is the spirit of action. That, you know, I didn't hear any sort of direction toward passivity, you know, whether it was Kofi or Peter this morning, everybody was about do it.
The theme of this conference really was about not being afraid to follow passion. And that is my main message. It has been for almost over 20 years now.
We can do well and do good. It is possible. And then I think that EO is uniquely positioned in this world right now to transform the lives of the entrepreneurs that are transforming the world.
Personally, I'm going to keep an eye on you guys and see what has been happening since, see what is, if it can be measured, because we need to see some role modeling. We need to see some avenue for true action. So it's what happens next. That's what's going to inspire the future.
The only alternative is that business takes that leadership role. And from that point of view, again, this manifesto is a sign of hope.
Manifesto. So after that Kevin has signed, I'll ask Maarten to sign on the blow up in accordance with the values that's standing over there and describing them, and he signs in for it as well for the rest of his life. Then I'll ask the witnesses, Peter Bakker, Peter Schwartz, 7 Suzuki, to sign as well. After that, all of you are invited to sign in, mention your name on this billboard and your signature. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! From this day forward, we will adopt a new way of doing business. We are a powerful influence in our world. Our values have great consequences for ourselves, for our children, for our society. We as entrepreneurs have the courage to make bold decisions that will improve the lives of millions. It's our duty to share our vision for a better world and reinforce our words with our deeds.
17th of September 2011, more than 500 successful entrepreneurs from around the world subscribed the Entrepreneurs Manifesto for Change in Amsterdam. They honor the great responsibility they bear. At this very moment, they are transforming their companies into change the world companies that are indispensable for the community they're part of. They urgently appeal to every entrepreneur globally to join, to undersign the Manifesto for Change, as well as to endorse the spirit in the manifesto with their actions. Be part of the virus of change.